From creating your own logo, to mapping coronavirus cases, to visualizing deforestation in the Amazon, Beaverworks gives you the skills and knowledge to share your ideas with the world.
It provided me with new ways of approaching and understanding problems, giving me the confidence to elevate my independent research.
In CogWorks, we learn about numerous applications of AI.
This week we're working on natural language processing. Last week it was computer vision, and the week before it was song recognition.
Specifically, we aim to create a model that could identify human faces from an image based off of existing profiles in a database class.
This picture of me, for example, ends up looking like this array of numbers. It may not make much sense to us, but computers are able to pick out patterns in these numerical facial descriptors and literally put names to faces. My team and I also created a database and uploaded pictures of our team so that our program would be able to identify every single one of us. The program can even tell the user when it sees faces in a picture, but doesn't recognize some of them from that database.
I am currently taking the Embedded Security and Hardware Hacking course.
Our challenge is to send firmware updates to a virtual self-driving car.
Our first week we learned about embedded systems, and this week we learned about cryptography and how to encrypt and decrypt confidential messages.
And also coding in Python and C. And we completed challenges like this on our own.
I am part of the Build a CubeSat course. And so, as the name suggests, we are building a CubeSat.
For our final project, we received a science mission from WHOI, aka the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. The amount of plastic found in the ocean is increasing at a rapid and alarming rate.
Our final mission is to simulate a CubeSat search for plastic in the ocean as it orbits Earth,
and identifying where they are in their lifespan based on their color.
In addition to building the hardware ourselves, we will be using a computer-aided design platform called Onshape to build a model of our CubeSat.
I'm a part of the Serious Games and AI course, and we're currently working on developing a mod for a game that models a zombie and flu pandemic in a city. My team is focusing on adding more diversity to the city's neighborhoods, and I am specifically working on enhancing the graphical user interface of the game.
Applying data analysis to our game, we will investigate the efficacy of different approaches to handling the outbreak. We will vary parameters and use artificial intelligence, specifically reinforcement learning, to try to figure out the optimal policies in different situations.
Currently, I'm in the Metalytics course, in which I've learned so many cool and interesting things, like many different machine learning models.
In the first week, we were immediately thrown into the deep end. We had to use several classification models to try to find the most prominent features of hypothyroidism. And last week, we were using basic convolutional neural networks
to try to classify sleep stages based on a variety of different signals using machine learning. It was really interesting because it was the first time we used neural networks, and I just thought it was a lot of fun.
These markings are for my PyPact independent research project. During rainstorms, I collected data, and these markers help me track the distances between the pies. My class has gotten to hear from great speakers from organizations like FEMA, as well from people from Lincoln Laboratory.
We've had a lot of interesting classes that have taught me a lot about what it means to be a true data scientist.
Even though we may not have achieved as good of a result as we were hoping for, the experience was all the more fulfilling because you bond even better with your group mates.
I personally wanted to learn more and delve deeper into these different disciplines, and that's what really brought me into BWSI.
we were able to use multiple images to determine the focal length of my phone's camera.
Cogworks 2020.
The Build a CubeSat course.
Serious games with AI.
Remote sensing for disaster response.
Embedded security and hardware hacking.
PyPact Independent Research Project.
Race car course in BWSI.
The Metalytics course.